Amid escalating tensions in the Middle East, the U.S. has sent a supercarrier to the region, raising questions about Iran's true ability to attack and sink, a symbol of U.S. naval power. U.S. sends supercarrier to the Middle East nuclear-powered aircraft. Carrier USS Nimitz, one of the U.S. Navy's leading symbols of power, is moving into the Middle East as the region heats up day by day. According to marine traffic, the supercarrier was recorded moving through the Strait of Malacca on June 16 from the Pacific Ocean to the Indian Ocean, most likely heading to the Middle East. Reuters quoted to U.S. officials as confirming that the move is part of Washington's plan to increase its military assets in the regional hotspot, following attacks between Israel and Iran. The USS Nimitz is the first aircraft carrier of the Nimitz class, commissioned in 1975, capable of carrying more than 60 aircraft and about 5,000 sailors. The ship uses two nuclear reactors to reach speeds of over 55 kilometers per hour and can operate continuously for years without refueling. The deployment of the USS Nimitz comes just days after Israel launched an airstrike campaign against a series of targets in Iran, killing many military commanders and nuclear experts. Iran quickly responded with a series of missiles attacking Israeli territory. In this context, the presence of the U.S. aircraft carrier is believed to send a message of deterrence and readiness to support allies if the conflict escalates. Recently, Iran warned that it would attack U.S., UK, and French military bases if these countries support Israel. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps (IRGC) said it considered any base or military vehicle that supports attacks on Iran a legitimate target. Iranian state media also quoted generals warning that all U.S. bases in the region are within range. If Washington becomes more deeply involved in the conflict, can Iran sink a U.S. aircraft carrier? The question is, does Iran really have the capability to sink a supercarrier like the USS Nimitz? According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies (CSIS), Iran currently possesses the largest and most diverse missile arsenal in the Middle East, including thousands of ballistic and cruise missiles. Some missiles have a range that can reach Israel and Southeast Europe. Iran's anti-ship weapons are also quite rich. Tehran is said to have copied and improved China's C-802 anti-ship missile, developing the Noor and Abu Mahdi series. Some experts believe that these missiles are capable of causing serious damage, even threatening to sink an aircraft carrier. The Noor has a range of about 220 kilometers, a speed of Mach 1.4, while the new Talaiya cruise missile can reach up to 1,000 kilometers and is advertised as being able to change targets mid-flight. Iran has also invested in littoral warfare, using a fleet of missile-equipped speedboats to swarm and overwhelm larger ships with numbers and speed in narrow coastal areas like the Strait of Hormuz. However, sinking a U.S. aircraft carrier is no easy task. Analysts point out that while Iran can damage some of its escorts or threaten shipping lanes, sinking an aircraft carrier requires overcoming a series of dense defenses, including surface ships, submarines, and modern air defense systems. Disadvantages of Iran's ballistic missiles. Although Iran possesses one of the most diverse and sophisticated arsenals of long-range ballistic missiles in the Middle East, most of them are designed to attack fixed targets on land, not optimal for hitting mobile targets at sea like aircraft carriers. Missiles such as the Shahab-3, Sajil, or Khyber have a range of several hundred to thousands of kilometers, enough to reach Israeli territory or U.S. bases in the Gulf, but lack the precision guidance to target warships moving in the middle of the ocean. This limitation has been demonstrated in combat practice in a number of attacks by the Houthi forces in Yemen, a close ally of Iran. Ballistic missiles believed to have been provided by Tehran were used to target U.S. aircraft carriers or escort warships operating in the Red Sea. However, none of the attacks were successful, with most of the missiles being intercepted or missing their targets. This reflects the technical difficulties in using land attack weapons to target mobile naval targets, which are constantly changing positions and protected by multiple layers of defense. Unlike anti-ship missile systems that typically fly at low altitudes and can adjust their flight path to track targets, Ballistic missiles fly at high altitudes and rely primarily on predetermined coordinates. This makes them difficult to adapt to fast-moving, constantly changing targets like U.S. aircraft carriers. Therefore, while they are formidable deterrents on the battlefield, Iran's long-range ballistic missiles are not yet a direct, effective threat to U.S. aircraft carrier strike groups at sea. Asterisk how the U.S. responds to threats as aircraft carriers do not operate alone. Each supercarrier is the centerpiece of a carrier strike group CSG, which includes many destroyers, cruisers, nuclear submarines, and early warning aircraft. This force creates a multi-layered defense system against all threats from the air, sea, and underwater. The core of the defense system is Aegis, a modern combat system that helps detect and intercept targets at long distances. In addition, CSGs often operate far from the Iranian coast, out of the effective range of most anti-ship weapons. Meanwhile, fighter jets such as the F-A-18 or F-35 can attack at long range, refueling in the air to operate out of the reach of fire from the Iranian mainland. On the air side, the U.S. is deploying additional B-2 Spirit stealth bombers to the Diego Garcia base in the Indian Ocean, a safe location out of range of Iranian missiles. The B-2 South can carry the GBU-57, the world's most powerful bunker buster bomb, specifically designed to destroy Iran's deep-sea nuclear facilities. Analysts warn that if Iran recklessly attacks an aircraft carrier group, especially if it causes visible damage, the consequences will be dire. The U.S. will almost certainly respond with a large-scale attack on Iran's military infrastructure, coastline, and proxy forces in the region.